Hello,
Hi,
my name is Akiva. I am an engineer in Tel Aviv.
and I'm Liat. I'm a yoga instructor, food blogger, nutritionist in training.
We live in a place called
Talmud.
Tel Mond is a fantastic place. We love living here. If I had to sum it up in one word, that word would be friendly. Everyone, starting with the stranger on the street, when we moved here, we noticed that just everyone we came into contact with was extremely friendly. And that makes its way into our Anglo community that we're part of. Friendliness, that everyone is close knit. We have so many WhatsApp groups together, and it's always active. There are always social events. We all help each other out whenever anyone needs help.
I'll just add to that it's extremely family oriented, so this is where families live. The community itself, and we'll talk about the types of people that live here, but it's a range of different type of people, but it doesn't matter. It just all feels like a community. There's, the Shabbat project where no matter what religious background you come from, we come together for that. There's this thing once a year called Bayit Patuach, where different people and their different businesses or their different hobbies kind of just like open their front lawn and sell what they're good at, food, jewelry. I don't know, the kids do lemonade stands, and it's super cute. It's like a full weekend where you can just like hop from house to house.
Lots of tchotchkes.
Yeah, we have like a beer festival that the Moatzah puts out once a year, like things like that. We have once a year, the families in our shul will host different families from the greater community, and it's just like a chance to intermingle and meet Israelis, Americans, Anglos in general, and just kind of intermingle. So it's a really nice, we didn't mention it's a yeshuv, but I'm saying, yeah, but it's a yeshuv that's not purely religious or purely chiloni, and you really feel that like inclusivity and being part of a greater community.
Yeah, I will mention that it is hot here. Unfortunately, it's very hot. We are close to Netanya and Ra'anana, so yeah, bring your t-shirts. But I'll also, what, you wear t-shirts when it's hot.
Oh, I understand.
But I'll also add that it's beautiful here, that we're surrounded by strawberry fields and orchards. When you walk the streets, there's greenery everywhere, flowers and fruits and everything. We have a mango tree and a lemon tree.
I was just gonna say, you can get by without like having to step foot in a produce store, because like all of our neighbors have all the different fruits and veggies in their backyards.
Yeah, and we are 15 minutes away from the sea, so if you get too hot, we're pretty close to there.
Which is fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, in terms of amenities, we've got it all. We are a yeshuv, but what pulled us here is that it's not your typical yeshuv in which you have to venture out to a major city to get things, basic things. We have Kupot Cholim. The doctors here are phenomenal. I didn't even realize Israel had such nice doctors before moving here. Our pediatrician is amazing, kind of like American treatment, where like I'm able to speak to him and ask him questions and things like that.
We have two supermarkets here.
We have two supermarkets, meaning you don't have to leave the yeshiva, and it's not just a makola. It's two. How many? Yeah, Victory and the Shuversal.
Yep.
So like you don't have to venture out. You can completely get by.
Banks.
We have gyms. We have tennis courts, basketball courts, soccer fields. There's the Moatzah has like a cultural center. There's chugim for all your kids, ballet, any form of dance. I don't know, our kids aren't old enough for chugim, swimming. Everything's here. And I'll just go back to a minute to the Kupot. We don't have a Meuchedet here. However, we're surrounded by Moshavim. This area is like all Moshavim, and within 2-3 minutes you're already in Cheirut or Kfar Hes, and there's Kadima right down the road, and so everything is here within a 5-minute drive. And it's not like you have to venture out, although you can venture out to Ra'anana and Netanya and get all the fun big city things, but everything is really here. and life is great. And also the other important thing, everything delivers to this area of the country. The produce that I have to say this as a nutritionist, but the produce that I get delivered here is the best I've ever seen in Israel. We've got a health food store. Anything that you can think of is here. So, yeah.
Yeah. So Talmud itself as Yishuv in its entirety is very, very mixed. I think it's mostly Chilonis with the numbers itself.
Yeah.
What's interesting here is that the religious and Anglo community, we tend to live in like one specific area.
Centered around the shul.
Yeah, centered around the shul. Right, and so when we walk around, we feel like we're in a religious community. It's just like a mixed / religious community. So
it feels like, you know, growing up in like suburbia, modern Orthodox America, where like not everyone's religious and Jewish around you, but you still feel like you're part of a community and like you're very close knit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I described that well, but that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I'll just mention that we don't really have any students here.
Right.
So yeah, but it's family oriented. Right.
But a range of ages, meaning like it's not just young couples, although there's like 50 of us these days, young families, but there's, you know, our Anglo community was founded, how many years ago? 30?
30. Yeah,
don't quote me on it. We have a shul that was built, and, you know, there's couples who are in their 60s and 50s, there's couples in their late 20s, 30s, with kids, young kids, you know, high school kids and all that.
And also the Anglos in our shul are not just Americans. It's a mix. There are Americans, there are South Africans, there are Australians,
and
there are
hybrid
British.
Couples as well.
Right, there are lots of hybrids. They're half Israeli, half Anglo, it's very mixed.
Yeah.
And we all get along.
We do. There's also a small Chabad here, in case anyone was wondering, and there's also a big, strong, tightly rooted Taimani community here. And there's a mikveh, and we have a rabbi who we love, and it feels like, you know, an actual rabbi, a part of a community. You can ask him your questions. There are shiurim, there's activities for all ages, parent-child learning. So, like, we love our community, if you haven't noticed.
It revolves around the shul.
Yeah. I'll just talk about the education, even though we're not, like, super immersed in it because our kids are little. There is a big campus for middle school, high school, and mamlachti school, so not religious, but it's a crazy campus. It's in our backyard. It's like a university campus. It's insane.
It's like
I think the education's pretty good in that respect. And they have everything, you know, like they have like a million basketball courts and soccer courts and a million buildings for a library, and we have access to it. And it's great also because like our kids can play on the campus. But in terms of the religious school here, we have a Mamachti Dati elementary school.
It was rated one of the best in the Sharon. Right?
Yeah, it's good. What pulled us here is that the parents are very involved, you know, like the idea of a parents committee. The parents here have a voice. English, your kids can start learning English from first grade. That's an option, which is also very cool for us, because here in Israel, I think you don't start till second or third grade, so to be able to start it from first grade is great. Again, I said like the parents are super involved. There's different klubim that the different parents in the community run for, like a science klub, an English klub, just like they're very involved. They have a voice. And then I'll speak quickly about the ganim just because I know it. We recently petitioned to open another religious gan because there were so many of us and we were bursting at the seams, and the Moatzah heard us, opened another one. So really we do have a voice here. And again, I said like this feeling of being included, like there are different sects, but everyone has a place and everyone is heard. So that's what we really like about it.
Just a word about accessibility, transportation. So first of all, we're a 15-minute drive to Ra'anana and to Netanya. Depends which way you go. In terms of commuting, I work in Tel Aviv, and my commute, I take the train. The train station Beit Yehoshua is 15 minutes away. No traffic on the way there in the morning. And then it's a 25-minute train ride from there into Merkaz, the center of Tel Aviv. And for those of you who don't know, the train is pretty enjoyable to go on. so it's a nice commute. There are buses from here to the train station, but they're in progress, we'll say.
They're scarce.
Yeah. So you definitely need one car. Depending if you really want, you can have 2 cars here. Could be helpful.
But we have a tramping culture, so that's helpful.
Right. Yeah, we have tramping groups, so we can always see if anyone's driving to the train station. People are always posting that they're driving there. So that's very helpful.
Yeah. And then quickly, I'll just mention housing here. So we have some apartments. Not many. Most people live in private houses, in duplexes, dumishpachti. I'm not sure exactly about the pricing with the apartments. I know there are new projects going on, but in terms of housing, there are some projects being built. I think starting anywhere from around 2 million, and then the dumishpachtis that are built already range anywhere from like 2.5 to 4 million, which, considering this area of the country, is really affordable, because if you look at Ra'anana or Netanya, those prices are like unheard of. We're really comfortable. We've got a backyard. We've got 3 levels, a basement. I have a yoga studio in the basement. Spacious,
And that's like a standard here to have a backyard.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we're really happy here, and we're always here if you guys have questions. And hope to see you around Talmud.
Come join us. Bye-bye.